Just So the other day I was perusing Facebook, as you do, and I came across this post of these crochet nails. And being that I'm a crocheter and I guess a human under the age of 70, I could immediately tell that these were an AI monstrosity, but I was kind of surprised that when I clicked on the 391 comment thread under this picture, not one other single person was mentioning that these might not be real. Some people were really into them, thought they were super cute. Largely though, people were disgusted by them because of the impossibility of washing your gross little hands when you have these fabric bacteria sponges glued to your nails. Understandable. And Jordan was serious when he said that these nails came from the pit of hell. Barbara was asking the question that we were all wondering, how do you pick your nose with them on? And Daniel, I think, might have been a little bit confused about who cares that he, as a man, finds them interesting nor fascinating. I, for one, as a certified fashionista, find them both interesting and fascinating, and I knew that I had to try to make some that Rita might think were worth my time. So I set off on my journey to try to figure out how to make crochet nails in a hygienic way. I started off by looking around on Instagram on hashtags to see if anybody else had actually done this. When you search the hashtag crochet nails on Instagram, there are a lot of results, but it's mostly people just mimicking crochet stitches with nail polish. And I actually did ask ChatGPT if they could tell me how to make crochet nails, and that's the method that they gave me as well. I also asked ChatGPT to send me some pictures of crochet nails, and of course what they sent me looked identical to the picture in the Facebook post. So this confirmed we're dealing with robot foolery. Much to many Facebook moms' dismay, there are actually a lot of people on Instagram who have just crocheted up some yarn and glued it straight onto some fake nails and worn them like that. My favorite ones are from a creator called Scarlet Stitch Studios on Instagram and TikTok, and they actually are amazing crochet cosplayers. And previous to all of this, I had seen that they did like a Marie Antoinette look where they had crocheted yarn glued onto fingernails, and it looked really cool with their costume, but didn't solve my problem. There's still fuzzy little bacteria factories. So my quest toward reusable and somehow hand washable crochet nails continued, and boy oh boy, did it come with a whole lot of trial and error. A project that I naively thought would take one evening, typical, has turned into 2 weeks of testing, giving up, scrapping the entire project, and then having a brain blast. And in the end, coming up with something pretty effing cool. I should have known that this project was cursed from the beginning because day one already started off badly. I went to Walmart to get some fake nails and ended up accidentally getting nail tips that were akin to actual eagle talons. Being that I am A, an agoraphobe, B, poor as hell, and C, very impatient, I decided that these were gonna work just fine. They fit well enough, I guess, like. So I started by using embroidery floss and a teeny tiny crochet hook to crochet a little rectangle that was the size of this weird curved nail. I painted the nail with black gel polish, and then I used UV resin to affix said embroidery floss rectangle onto the nail. And then I covered the entire thing in UV resin and cured that. My thought was that this would encase the embroidery floss and make it durable, but still make it look and feel like crochet. That was a very wrong thought to have. I tried this several times with various thicknesses of embroidery floss. I tried it with the full strand, I tried it with half the strand, I tried it with even just one little tiny string of the strand. I tried crocheting pieces that fit the nail exactly. I tried crocheting large pieces, gluing them down to the nail and then cutting around them. I tried little tiny granny squares. None of that looked good at all. The biggest problem I was encountering was that when you get the embroidery floss wet with the resin, it doesn't really look crocheted anymore. It gets really dark and everything just starts to bleed together. So I moved on because I figured there had to be some kind of technique that I could come up with to cover the crocheted pieces without getting them wet. I thought I was pretty genius for this idea at first. I decided to take some UV resin and spread it over top of my silicone mat and then cure that and like fold it over top of the crocheted piece and then somehow affix that all to the nail. I never really got that far because it didn't work. It took me several tries to get it thin enough that I could actually bend it around the nail, but even the thinnest I could possibly spread it wasn't malleable enough, probably because the nails were so ridiculously, hilariously curved curved, but regardless, it didn't work. So in the end, my genius idea was the suckiest idea, and it was at this point that I came down with a severe case of crafter's depression. What am I doing with my life? When you feel like you have exhausted every single idea that your brain could ever possibly muster up, and you must just really suck at this thing, and you should probably sell all of your craft supplies, everything you own, either bed rot or get a job at a call center and just give it up forever. Just want a lame attempt to save this video, make it postable at all. I, in the most somber of manners, crocheted 10 boring little rectangles out of embroidery floss that I was gonna glue on to the weird eagle talons, put resin over top of, and just pretend I thought they were cool. But just then, I was laying in bed feeling sorry for myself, and I remembered something that I had seen on TikTok: aquarium nails. So I thought to myself, in my big brain, if these girlies can encase entire oceans in their fingernails, I can surely shove some embroidery floss inside of one and make a waterproof crocheted nail. So I did some research, aka watched 2 TikToks, and then I overnighted some nails that I think might work. Hi. I was very close to giving up on this project. It's been very frustrating, but I did acquire a new set of nails, and these are so much nicer. Like, they are just flat, no curve, no frickin' vulture talons. They're just flat and they're square. And they're really long and really fabulous, and I love them. And they're also clear. I think they're great except for one thing, and I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it, but there's a number at the top of every nail, and I don't really understand why. I don't know if common practice, obviously I'm not a nail tech, but I don't know if common practice is to like cut that part off. I did try to cut that part off with a pair of nail clippers, and I like filed it, but I couldn't get it as straight as it once was. And having it straight is really gonna help for the next part of this process. So I don't really know what to do about these stupid ass numbers. I think I'm gonna try to take it over to my metalsmithing bench and take like a sandpaper bit on my rotary tool and like sand the number out. And then maybe I can put some clear gel polish in there and cure that. And then maybe it'll look fine. I don't know. And then I'm gonna go over to the ventilation station and start on this new process that may or may not work. I got 0 good angles of this, but I did use my metalsmithing rotary tool to sand off the little numbers. The sandpaper left the inside of the nails a little scuffed up though, so to remedy that, I painted the inside with clear gel polish, which did work, but it was a little funky, a little cloudy. I figure out how to remedy that later on though. To try and make something similar to aquarium nails with the supplies that I already had in my crafting arsenal, I spread some UV resin on a silicone mat, and then I pressed my fake nail into it, leaving room at the bottom for the thumb. After curing, I realized I had spread the resin way too thick because some of it had bled under the nail too far and would hinder my crochet pieces from going all the way to the top. So I tried again, making the layer as thin as I possibly could, but unfortunately that still didn't work. I figured while I brainstormed, I would take the test nails back to my desk, shape them up, and crochet some little mock pieces to put inside and at least see the vision come to life, you know? I used the full strand of the embroidery floss and a little 1.1 millimeter hook to do a couple rows of half double crochets. I shoved these rectangles inside the nails, and I knew that this was definitely the best method yet. I just had to somehow figure out how to keep the resin from bleeding under the nail. I went back to my bench and sanded the numbers out of all 10 nails, and then I figured out that if you wipe most of the polish off of the brush and paint a super thin coat on the inside of the nail, it doesn't get as distorted looking. Honestly, you can hardly notice it at all when the crocheted piece is sitting under it. I used a dry erase marker to mark out a space for my fingernails to sit on each nail, and then, in an attempt to make the thinnest barrier possible, I spread a thin layer of clear gel polish on the mat, laid my nail on it, and cured it. That worked perfectly, but it needed to be a little bit sturdier, so I then went in with a thicker layer of resin on top of the clear gel coat. That was the friggin' ticket. That was the magic combination. That is what I have been looking for this whole time. So I did that 9 more times, which with only one small UV lamp was possibly one of the most tedious experiences of my entire life. It was a lot of standing around and waiting for hours, but after all that trial and error, I was so glad that something was finally working. After cutting down the extra resin with scissors, I then sanded all the edges flush and smooth with a nail file and my trusty old paper towel and the glasses dust mask. I decided I wanted these to be as fun as possible, so I picked out 10 different colors and spent the entire night crocheting little pieces that fit perfectly snug inside each nail. Well, I just realized it's 4 in the morning, but I got all of my nails completed and I got everything crocheted, and I've got them like half shoved within the nails so that I don't mix up which goes with which nail. But tomorrow I'm just gonna have to push them all in there and then close off the top and the bottom, I guess with resin. I don't know, well, what's the expression? We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But for now, I am done. I'm going to bed and I should be able to finish this tomorrow. I think I am really effing done with crochet nails. Although this isn't perfect, they look a little smushed, unfortunately, when you smush it within the cavity. Is that a good word? You know what I mean. I'm tired, but yeah, it gets a little smushed when you put it in there, and maybe it stops looking like crochet and just looks like a mush of fabric. Oh well, then they're mushed fabric nails and not crochet nails. I don't really care at this point. They do look fun though, so I'm gonna rock them either way. Good night. Hi, it's the next day. I'm finishing up these little nails. I've got one ready to go. I just have to like enclose it with some resin, but I crocheted myself like this little strip of embroidery floss, and I've been like pulling it through each nail to like clean on the inside, and then I am weaving in all of these ends. I'm just using my little tiny crochet hook to like pull the yarn or the thread through to the back, and then just cutting it off and it'll be fine because it'll be squished in there. And yeah, that's all I have to do. Oh no, that's not all I have to do. Then I have to, once I like encase everything in the resin, then I'm gonna have to paint the nails because like the bottoms of them are just clear. So I'm gonna have to paint them in like an ombre where it's kind of like opaque at the bottom and then kind of wisps up into the threaded crocheted part. Obviously not my genius idea. I've seen professional nail people do this on like the aquarium nails and it looks good. So hopefully mine will look okay. I've also got some glitter that I'm thinking maybe I'll like put in. I don't know. We'll see. But I do have high hopes that I'm gonna finish these tonight, which is exciting, finally. I continued on with every fiber artist's least favorite task, say it with me now, weaving in ends. And then I got everybody situated in their new little plastic houses. Also, pro tip for everybody following along at home, the tiny crochet hook was super helpful to pull the embroidery floss through and into place and smooth everything out. Back at the ventilation station for the millionth, but thankfully the last time, I first started by practicing closing up yesterday's mess up nails, and I'm so glad that I did that. I realized the resin was way too runny to close up the ends, and it was seeping onto my crocheted pieces and giving them that wet look that I have hated so much this whole time. So I decided to try to like half cure the resin to make it goopy so that I could just glob it on there where I wanted it, and much to my surprise, because most things up until now had been such a mess, this actually worked beautifully. So again, I spent several more hours standing in the kitchen and resining. Filing these down left lots of little scuffs on the nails, which did worry me at first, but thankfully a coat of clear polish at the end fixed that completely. I did decide to use the glitter, and matching each nail color to its own glitter color was probably the most fun I'd had in weeks, and some might consider that to be a sad life, but it was a good time regardless. I painted each nail with white at the bottom and then sprinkled on its corresponding glitter color, added that final top coat, and then, oh my god, they were finally done. It's almost 1 a.m. and I'm still working on these nails, but these came out so much better than I could have ever imagined. And I feel like I haven't really done a project that I was like super happy with like this in a long time. So I'm glad that I stuck with it. Follow your whimsy and don't give up until you create something stupid and awesome. Tomorrow, when it's not 1 a.m., I'm gonna dress up like a little fairy and put these on, and I'm so excited about it. I'm gonna keep these forever. I'm gonna wear them on the most important days of my life. You should make some. But they've taken a long time. Like, this is a commitment as a project, but I think you should do it. Last one, we're using our time wisely. At 1:30. Glitter, glitter, it's good for your heart. So go out and make some art. I'm a little delirious, but at least I got a pair of cool nails out of it. Even though I don't leave my house, and I'll never wear these anywhere where anyone can see me, except on my YouTube channel with 6,000 friends. Everybody compliment me, please. 2:04 a.m., day 179 of this project, and they're done. Finally, and I had to put one on just to experience it. I'm sorry for the low lighting. There we go. Look at that. I just like had to know how it was gonna feel. I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to get this off. I've never used these little nail stickers, but they smell like glue. They smell like super glue. So hopefully it'll just pop off. Let's see. Is this gonna be easy to remove, and will these be reusable? Oh my God, if it breaks now before I can put, oh, okay, it's fine. We're fine, everybody's fine. Dude, these are actually incredible, at least in comparison to what I was expecting. I can't wait to put them on tomorrow and get all dolled up and take a bunch of pictures and silly videos and whatever. So you'll see me in 2 seconds in my garb with my nails on. It is time to apply the nails. After putting one nail on, I realized I wouldn't be able to peel off the other stickers if I didn't have full finger dexterity, so I removed it, and in doing so, I took off a layer of my bare nail with it. So I googled how to use these stickers most safely, and I trusted my entire life to the one person I saw on Reddit who said that I should use a base coat and a top coat underneath the stickers. This ended up being 10 out of 10 advice. Please do this if you use these. Then the party really got started, and you will be able to tell by the pure joy on my face, but let me just say, this was seriously so much fun. If I had any friends or anywhere to go, I would wear nails like this on the regular because these really brought something out in me. I did struggle to use my hands at all with these on. I'm sure it's just from a lack of practice, but my neon sign fell right after I got these nails on, and fixing that was my first dexterity test of the evening. Yes, I am incredibly dramatic, but everything really is a lot harder with these on, from pushing buttons to picking things up to texting and selfieing and writing and eating, and don't even get me started on the wiping. You want a bite? You want a little bite? Jasper? Here, Jasper, don't you want that? Take it from me. Take it. Here. Oh, you don't like it? Come here, Scoopy. Look. Oh, that's nice. Eat this. Look at it. Okay, so part of the point of this project was to be able to wash your hands with these nails on, so that is something I need to test. I'm a little bit nervous to like submerge these in water, get them like super wet, because this took me a long time to make, and if there was like a little bit of a hole in one of them, it would just water would get trapped in there and they would get ruined, and I don't want to ruin them. So I'm gonna try to avoid them as much as I can, but I'm still gonna try to wash my hands. Also, the light is off because we have a really loud fan that comes on when the light's on, so hopefully you can see me. No movie magic, this is real soap, people. So I'm trying to avoid getting them wet. I think I could get them wet, but I'm just a little bit scared. Okay, wow, I'm clean. I'm so clean. No more bacteria for me. There's actually no way. I feel lemon. Wait, what's A70 on these two? Rising. Words can't even express how happy I am with these or how much fun I've had with these. I did not see this project going anywhere. I didn't think hygienic crochet nails were possible, but we made them possible today, and I'm just like so excited about them. I'm going to take them off now. I've had them on for probably over an hour, and I'm a little bit afraid that they're very stuck because they are like really on there. I hope that I can get them off without ripping my nails off and without having to use acetone and like ruin them, because I really would like to keep these forever. I don't know if I'll ever rewear them. I don't know where I would rewear them. If any fancy people want to invite me to a fancy event, I'll wear them. Okay. All right, let's try. I'm like really afraid that the nail is gonna snap. Okay, all right, one off, and it survived. It seems like it got a little bit stretched. Ooh, okay, that one came off easily. All right, I think we're fine. Yeah, we're fine. It was a really good call to put the base coat and the top coat on here because I can see that the base coat is like lifting off of my nail. And if I had put these stickers on my like bare nails, I would be ripping my nails off. Ooh, this one's stuck. Ah, okay, woo! Back to normal. Insane amount of respect to people who get like permanent fake nails in that length put on. I don't know how you do it. I mean, I'm sure you would get used to it eventually, but you are fantastic and fabulous, and congratulations on that. Thank you so much for coming on this journey with me. I had a lot of fun trying to figure out some kind of craft that I like really didn't know how to do, come up with a solution for something that really didn't need to be saluted, but now we know how to do it. So if anybody wants to make them and tag me on Instagram, you absolutely should. Subscribe if you want to see more dumb stuff from me, and I will see you next time. Bye!